After hundreds of battles throughout the season, we finally determine a champion tonight. As EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings you the biggest game of them all, the Super Bowl. One final time this season. Hi there, everybody. Joined by Brock Heward in the booth. I'm Kate Scott, and we have made it. The greatest game of them all, everybody. Welcome to the Super Bowl. And it really is the perfect crowning event for each and every NFL season, isn't it, partner? All the fanfare, the celebration in the week leading up to this game, and then in the moment, we see the two best teams in the NFL squaring off for this title.
Such a few fortunate players and coaches who are making a repeat appearance in this game on this stage, Kate. So many. This is the culmination of a dream that began a decade, even a couple decades ago, as a young player discovering their love for football. And for those first-timers, that's fine. Go ahead and take in this atmosphere. Just make sure you're focused when that ball is teed up and ready to go. Those dreams you had as a kid, well, they didn't end up with you losing this game. Oh, no. They ended up with you raising the Lombardi Trophy and calling yourself a champion.
And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They motion the slot man right. From the 39. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And that leaves him with 3rd and short. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions, from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
Here we go on 4th. Lawrence. Throw is caught by the back. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Escapes the pocket. He's got Pierce. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down. Pierce motioning right. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. On the move, headed right. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
Look at the coverage on that play, Kate. I love that. That is textbook defense right there. When the quarterback escapes the pocket, man, you got to find somebody. You got to go get sticky on your offensive guy. It's exactly what the secondary did, and it forces the throwaway.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call.
11.
Lawrence working from the gun. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Throwing is Lawrence on 3rd down. Taken in by Pierce. It's a 21-yard gain. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
1st down throw, Lawrence. Hits his running back. And he'll go down here at the 16.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. 3rd and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
2nd and 3 now.
Hey, run.
From the 16. Chased out to his right. He's on the move.
Well, positive yardage is positive yardage, and he got what he could before getting out. But it still leaves him short of the first after what looked like a broken play.
Here we go, third and less than a yard. He gets it out left, and it's caught. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
To the line we go. They're set, first and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down.
Take right open. Here we go.
Out of the gun, Lawrence. That's much too high and out of the end zone. Incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. So they're left facing third and long.
Kill. There's a 24. Go, let's go.
Now Lawrence. Cut near the goal line. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10. Here's the first carry for Christian McCaffrey. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Offense in the hurry up here. Here's second and 14. That's complete, David Njoku. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
This really isn't a route designed for a lot of yards, Kate. You're just trying to get a small handful and move on to the next down. Stay in rhythm. But anytime you can work some magic after the catch and stretch it out, those are welcome bonus yards.
And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Working quickly here. Shotgun, handoff to McCaffrey. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs. So Super Bowl 60, a quarter of the way done. Just a field goal separates these two. More from Santa Clara coming up. Enough waiting, we're back, and it's time to resume play here in Super Bowl 60 from Santa Clara. They're looking at yet another first and 10 on this drive. He's off again. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars finish off their opening drive. Christian McCaffrey, the touchdown. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Jaguars one up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Lawrence. him on the quick hitter. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on the drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give the quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Dalton Kincaid, the intended target there. And now it's 3rd and short.
I'll tell you this, Kate, they doubled him knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. That's doing your homework. A bit surprising QB still threw it in that direction with how well the defense had that one covered.
Buys time, rolling right. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
Look at how well the coverage held up on that play. Even as the QB escapes the pocket and buys extra time secondary, well, they got real sticky, stayed tight, and forced the throw away.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. They're going for this. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. From the gun, McCaffrey. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. He cuts it to the right sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that gives them 1st and goal. They send a receiver in motion right. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. Offense up to the line fast. Back to throw. Here's Purdy. Dumped off to his running back. Pick up a few as he heads out of bounds.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular.
And he gets in. Touchdown. The Jaguars now lead by 10. Christian McCaffrey, the touchdown. Dicker on now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jaguars drive their lead to 11. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And he just sends it over the end zone. No threat of a return at all, but now they're going to spot the ball at the 30 to begin the drive. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Hey, Lion!
Lawrence throwing here. That one doesn't find its man. Incomplete. That throw was looking for Brandon Ayuk. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Hey, run!
Motioning right is Ayuk. 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence. Connects with Montgomery. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Easy, read the footwork. Hey.
Running it with David Montgomery. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Jaguars get it back as he intercepts him for the 2nd time this game. The Jaguars in a good starting spot for this drive. Coming up, 1st and 10.
Here we go, set. 19 tight, 19 temporary, 17.
Purdy throwing here. Cut by Diggs. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after looks like a yard gain. Darius Slay with the stop.
At the 43-yard line.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And that's a Jaguar first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Throw reeled in by Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds right along the 20. They gain 14 on the play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. McCaffrey running between the tackles. And he'll have a short pickup down to the 17. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Quick to the left, it's caught. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars boat racing them to the halftime locker room. Not a lot of processing time from the moment he pulled it back to the moment he made that throw, Brock. But I think we can all agree he made the right choice not to hand it off and then the right read on that throw.
Yeah, he sure did, kid. It kind of reminds me of the option quarterbacks of our day growing up, right? Those guys that made that pitch, and it was just second nature. They were on the run, guys all around. Didn't matter. He's going to put that pitch right on them. The great RPO quarterbacks of today do exactly the same thing with their throws.
And that one flies right on past the end zone. Didn't make an effort to hit the landing area at all. So they're going to give them a drive starting at the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Red on the red. 11, add it. Here we go.
Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Gets this to Montgomery. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Stopped by Deion Henley. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first.
Season 24.
From the 33 on 2nd down. He finds the rookie from Ohio State. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48.
On red.
Lawrence working from the gun. That one's cut along the left sideline. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out. They'll come up 1st and 10. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. Completed to his running back. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
From the 32. Cut along the left sideline, but he did not get both feet in. That's incomplete, brings up 3rd down.
You know, that's a nice job by the defense, Kate, to actually use the 12th defender, and that is the sideline. That throw didn't give the receiver enough real estate to establish possession, and the defense understanding how to use the boundary.
And that one's going to fall incomplete. No luck there. Just 11 seconds remaining.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
The kick by Hopkins is good. And that lowers the deficit to 15.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. He'll throw it. This ball's cut by McCaffrey. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. Well, we all enjoyed that halftime show, right, Brock? These guys were strategizing how to win that Lombardi. We're back underway in the Super Bowl. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. On 2nd down, here's McCaffrey. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Pretty throwing here on 1st. Hits his running back. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Short pass brought in. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in 1 play and keep driving that defense backwards.
He's got it in the red zone. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Quick pass, right side, complete. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Offense in the hurry up here. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars grow the lead coming out of halftime. Christian McCaffrey, the touchdown. His 3rd of the game on the ground. Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Jaguars grow the lead now to 22 points. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, Lion.
Back to throw. Here's Lawrence. Forced out to his right. He's taking a shot down the sideline. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
That was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Got for big yards on the right side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time. And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They'll come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
He's on the move. He can run it. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
It's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a first down, that's a big bonus for the quarterback.
1st down throw, Lawrence. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough to blame him for that drop, Rock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react. And then you got to burst. And that defender does a trick.
Oh, they got it. Intercepted along the goal line. Christian Harris picks it off. And the Jaguars return this one to the 10 before that return is halted.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. Working quickly here.
At the 16-yard line.
From the gun is Purdy. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. That one goes for 25 yards. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
I'm sure, Coach, the play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Eagles 6.
First and 10 from the 41. Trying an inside give now with McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. First down, and they go right back to him. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Halfway there on first down, that brings up 2nd and 5. Throw right side, caught by Njoku. And he stopped cold at the spot. Ooh, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that first down. That one complete to Njoku. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
He goes back to him yet again. Complete.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
To throw again, it's Purdy. On target to Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down. Got him in. It's Njoku. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 14-yard line.
Looking for a pass on 2nd and short. Looking for somewhere to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
You're just not going to win many games in this league when you can't generate a pass rush until the 4th quarter. You needed to feel the impact from this defense earlier and more often in this game. The lack thereof, well, it's a big part of what's put them playing from behind in the final stanza of this one.
On 3rd down, Purdy. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars keep adding to that 4th quarter lead. Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jaguars continue piling on to this lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. They're out and set, 1st and 10.
Rip, 23.
Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. Oh, no, they get him yet again. And the Jaguars put together a wonderful return. Gets him back inside the 40 following the interception.
Well, I'll admit, man, I got to admire the guts, the willingness to continue to